have sufficient means to defend yourself?
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Your cargo's at its breaking point.
Okay. Let's do this. Charged up.
Nearly at our destination. See anything suspicious?
Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Been a long time, Sam.
Fuck, how you still alive?
Oh, no, I'm just a ghost. Come to take my revenge on you and that bitch Fragile. All the way from the other side. Of course, there's no point in trying to kill you when you won't stay dead. But there are plenty of other ways to make you suffer. Huh? The kid kicked the bucket, huh? Shame. The goddamn shame. Now what, are you just lugging that coffin or pod? Going on a walkabout? Well, that's touching. Even if you don't know a goddamn thing about Lou.
What are you saying?
Maybe I can't kill you, you won't die, but you can lose everything you love. And torture yourself for the rest of time, knowing that death will never come for you. So you go on your little walkabout. Go wherever you want, but I will be damned if I let you link up this continent. Not because extinction's my creed, though, no. I want to build a world where fear and violence are king. And who do you think will come out on top, Sam? You? With your hippy-dippy network? Or me? With my more rough and tumble methods? I can't wait to find out. Just a good old-fashioned boss fight. Cruelty or collaboration? The eternal choice. Let's put him to the test.
Did you just drop some cargo, Sam? Sam, I'm afraid that weapon is ineffective against mechs. You'll need to rely on something else instead. Are you injured, Sam? this one! That one seems to have done some damage. Okay, Sam? Wait, Sam, you've just dropped some of your cargo. Sam. Great work. Now let's get this place on the chiral network.
Your name is Sam, isn't it? Oh, we owe you one. What in the hell was that thing anyway? It looked like a machine, but none I've ever seen before. Oh, right. We need to assess the situation. That clearly wasn't an easy fight. I feel for you, Sam. I hope we can continue to relax. This moment's been a long time coming. Please use your Cupid to connect us.
Great! No issues establishing a chiral network connection. By the way, we've sent some folks out to recover the wreckage of that giant mech that attacked us earlier. Only prudent we study it, you know? If we learn anything of value, we'll be sure to relay it to Drawbridge right away. Thanks again for coming to our rescue.
Sam, this is the President. Due to your tireless efforts, West Fort Knot is now part of the chiral network. A great achievement. I salute you. However, this expansion has done little to address the anomalous activity observed across the continent. Elsewhere, disruptions in the tar currents are growing ever more prevalent. Only by connecting all of Australia can we hope to resolve this situation. And by doing so, we will create the optimal conditions for a new Plategate to manifest as well. We are one step closer to making the chiral verse a reality, and ensuring humanity overcomes extinction. The road ahead is still fraught with peril, but I have the utmost faith in your capabilities. For now, though, please take a well-deserved break aboard the DHV Magellan.
Order completed. Well done.
Warning, footwear durabilities.
Was it really Higgs? He's alive.
He called himself a ghost, but
He found a way back from the beach just so he could kill us.
it was definitely his voice I heard. I didn't get a good look at his face, but yeah. He said he came back to get revenge on you and me. Screwing with our plans to link up Australia was just another way to do that.
They were all in red. Just like the ones at your place. That could have been him too.
You think that was Higgs? Did you see him hurt Lou?
I'm not sure.
Fragile, I need you to remember.
I only caught a glimpse. But they were all wearing red. This is all my fault. I had him at my mercy on Amelie's beach. If I'd only finished him off, none of this would have happened.
No. You can't blame yourself. You know, something's been bugging me. Something he said. You don't know a goddamn thing about Lou. It hit me after. He's absolutely right. I mean, the kid's whole life is a total mystery to me. So I gotta ask. Can you look into Lou's past? Find out what you can? Charlie, you, the ship's crew, you all have connections within the UCA, right? And at least one of you has to have access to the UCA archives that were recovered by the Chiral Network.
All right, Sam. Let's see what we can find on Lou.
Really, Sam, there's such a thing as too tight. Oh, that must have been quite the nightmare. I can't feel my legs.
Lou.
Sam, this is Tarman. Feeling refreshed, I hope. Thanks to all your hard graft, the DHV Magellan can get around a lot more freely now. More specifically, we can travel between any two facilities that are connected to the chiral network by way of the tar currents. Naturally, this includes Mexico as well. If you're curious about how the folks in the places you visited are getting on, you can catch up on any recent developments by accessing the corpus via your ring terminal. And to have the Magellan travel to a given facility, simply open the map with your ring terminal and chart a course to your destination.
If you refuse, there will be severe repercussions.
But what makes you think you have a choice?
Sam, it's Charlie. Another request is ready for you. You'll find it listed as a main order on the DHV Magellan's delivery terminal.
A new feature has been...
So you know, Sam, Fragile is currently looking into Lou. Meanwhile, Tarman is conducting a separate investigation into the giant mech that attacked you earlier. For now, we would like you to focus on extending the network. That is a task only you can handle. As the network grows in size, we will have much more information at our disposal to further our efforts. That said, you won't be able to proceed until the situation at West Fort Knott has been resolved. It appears that they're in dire need of additional supplies, to the point that they don't even have enough to prepare cargo for your next destination. This next order is intended to alleviate the situation. You're to restore the mine north of F1 and its monorail station to working order and link up West Fort Knott. After which, you'll deliver a large quantity of excavated materials from the mine to the settlement by rail. As this is a somewhat complicated order, I'll brief you on the details as you review the map. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you could make this main order your top priority. All right, Sam. You'll need to work through several steps to complete this order. To begin with, collect the cache of materials waiting for you on the DHV Magellan. Take these to the mine north of F1. The location has been marked for you on your map. And when you arrive there, submit the materials using the terminal on site. This will allow you to restore the facility to working order. Next, access the terminal again to commence mining operations. If all goes well, a large quantity of materials should be extracted. You'll then need to deliver those materials to West Fort Knott. Consider making use of the monorail located at the mine to make life easier. Upon your arrival at F1, use the delivery terminal to submit all the materials for processing and to finally complete the order. That's all there is to it. So begin plotting your route to the mine north of F1. On this occasion, you'll be delivering some heavy materials. You can use a tri-cruiser to transport them. Alternatively, floating carriers can now be fabricated. These carriers are ideal for taking heavy cargo across terrain ill-suited to vehicles. If that sounds good to you, try fabricating one and loading the materials onto it. And when you're not using the carrier for cargo, you can hop aboard and kick the ground and use it as a makeshift skateboard. Just remember that floating carriers require chiral crystals to function, so keep a supply on hand.
another porter here. Since you brought this site onto the chiral network, perhaps they thought they could make use of the additional data to make a safe run. To go and say hello? Not enough resources, huh? But what exactly are you lacking? Ah, the terminal should have more information. Well done, Sam. I've never seen a working monorail before. Think of all the stuff...
Please submit.
Very good, Sam. Now all you have to do is load the extracted materials onto the monorail for transport. Let's begin by accessing that delivery terminal.
Let's get going then.
Did you actually manage to restore the monorail? Awesome! With it back up and running, you'll be able to transport materials from the mines. Right. Sorry. Let's take a look at these materials you brought. Would you look at all this? I think it's safe to say we'll have nothing to worry about for a while. We've made some great strides in our research thanks to you. Just wanted to let you know that we're increasing...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
We really appreciate your help. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's going to take an awful lot of resources to restore the other roads and monorails to working order. But at least with this monorail operational, you can bring us large shipments of materials with relatively minimal effort. That's going to go a long way towards getting other sections up and running again. We can fabricate pickup off-roaders now, by the way. I'm pretty fond of them myself. It's a large four-wheel drive vehicle, boasts significant cargo carrying capacity for the hard-working porter. The driver's seat is in an elevated position and exposed by design. This allows the driver to survey their surroundings more easily and engage enemies with small arms if necessary. You can customize it quite a bit too, attach all kinds of different parts as you like. That said, a lot of parts are still in development, but you'll receive their data as soon as it's ready. The schematics for this vehicle have already been shared with everyone on the chiral network, which means that we can look forward to other people drafting even more new parts. Sure, the monorail network was extensive and once stretched across a good chunk of Australia's coastline. But repeated exposure to timefall has seen it degrade significantly. And with the constant threat of BTs and armed groups, it's not been possible to repair the damage. If you happen to come across a track layer, be sure to feed it any materials you can spare. Even a small contribution will make a difference. Anyway, just something to think about. We're so grateful for the assistance, Sam. You've been a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
You managed to save the day, Sam. The people here now have more than enough supplies for their needs. They should be able to prepare cargo for the next delivery too. But first, I have some information to share with you. About Lou. Return to the DHV Magellan so we can talk.
Order completed. Well done.
Hey, Sam. How's it going? I have updates for you, if you have time.
I take it you've learned more about Lou?
We followed up on the message Deadman left for you at the lab. About how there was another BB-28, not Lou, who, according to the records, was decommissioned 4 years ago. The first time you and Lou met was about 2 years ago now, when you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
Deadman and everyone else at Bridges, they all called Lou BB-28.
Right, because that was Lou's serial number. You see, we found the records for the BB storage facility. By cross-referencing the data, we confirmed that after BB-28 was decommissioned 4 years ago, Lou was assigned the same designation and placed into storage.
So what you're telling me is that instead of getting a new serial number, Lou inherited an old one?
As for Lou's mother, following the C-section, it seems she passed away. And that pretty much is the extent of our recent discoveries. Without a still mother to provide support, it makes sense that Lou was kept in reserve. But we still have no idea who approved the serial number reassignment, much less why they did it.
Higgs said there were things I didn't know. Maybe this is what he was talking about.
I think it could be.
I want to know everything about Lou.
You're playing his game, Sam. Chasing after the past is what Higgs wants you to do.
I need to know where Lou came from. I have to know.
If you're sure, Sam, I'll keep digging. In the meantime, you should get plenty of rest before your next mission.
Seems Tarman decided to leave a few books for you. Right there, by your bed. Reading is a wonderful way to take your mind off things. Trust me.
Extraction was successful. It was transferred to a sterilized pod and sent to a separate facility.
Ready to proceed with corpse disposal? 1.
Next destination is the Northern Environmental Observatory. Like its Western counterpart, this observatory is a critical facility that will help us to monitor the changes taking place in the Australian environment. To bring it online, you'll have to navigate the canyon to the northeast of your current position. But before that, you'll need to link up another site en route.
Sam, the next site we want you to link up is called Rainbow Valley. A friend of Drawbridge is waiting for you there. Once the network connection has been established, they'll be joining us on the DHV Magellan. I recruited them myself when we first met in the UCA. You can pick up the order from the delivery terminal. I'm looking forward to seeing you both. Thanks again, Sam.
Floating carriers can be loaded with...
Order accepted. Thank you. Order accepted. Thank you.
Process your orders and requests.
Hold on a minute. Are you Sam? And does this mean the drawbridge has finally come to the valley? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you could make it. It's an honor to welcome you here. This cargo looks a little rough. But hey, you got it here, and that's really all that matters. We'll be hoping to see more of you in the future. The next step involves the Cupid, yeah? Okay then, let's do this.
Connection looks strong and steady to me. That cargo you brought along is going to make a world of difference, too. It'll allow us to proceed with our terraforming initiative. Hopefully, no more towns will have to suffer the fate of the one down below us. Oh, we've shared our tar cannon data with everyone, by the way. I suspect you'll find it useful in your own work. Try it out. See if it suits your needs. You probably passed the town I mentioned on your way up here. At a glance, it might have looked like nothing more than a cluster of massive boulders. But those were once buildings. Places where people used to live. As the desert kept creeping closer, the town was abandoned overnight. They'd been forced to evacuate. The few who were left behind became BTs. Still, at least the exodus went to plan. There are no void-outs at any rate. This region was once filled with lush vegetation, over which birds soared and serenaded, until all that beautiful life fell prey to sudden desertification. We swore to do everything in our power to bring back what was lost. Around the time we got started, the APAC people showed up. With their help, we've been able to achieve a modest measure of success. But moving forward, we have to find a way to nurture and protect what little we have on our own. Tar cannons are invaluable pieces of equipment that we use to combat forest fires. Now, while fires are a common occurrence in this region, water is a precious resource. So these cannons were developed as extinguishers that utilize the tar contained within the earth itself. They leverage the tar's viscosity, making them one of the most effective methods of combating fire we have. When deployed on the ground, they can both extract and discharge tar simultaneously. You can pick up the cannon and use it on the go as well, but you'll be unable to refill its tar reservoir while doing so. If you find yourself caught in a wildfire, you'll need to figure out when to shoot and when to move in order to make it out alive. Thanks for everything, Sam. You and Drawbridge have helped ensure that these lands will one day be filled with life again, however long it takes. In particular, that comrade of yours has performed absolute miracles for us. If you're looking to link up with them, you'll find them in the ravine on the other side of the river, directly opposite this shelter. Come back and visit anytime.
Right. Time to meet up with our comrade. Let's see. They should be around here somewhere.
Just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to me for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
You think I spooked her?
I really couldn't say. I certainly haven't ever seen her dance like that before.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
Go on, Sam. Follow her into that facility.
Thanks for coming, Sam. I'm sorry about just now. I didn't know who you were at first.
You're the picture of health, Rainey.
You too, little man.
You had some kind of a trick for dealing with time fall?
Rainey, it's been too long.
Fragile.
Can't wait to see you again.
What are we waiting for, Sam? Let's head to the DHV Magellan. Fragile. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet the old-fashioned way. Chirograms are great, but nothing beats a hug. Well, I'm sure you already know. This is Rainey. She's a good friend of the cause.
It really is a pleasure to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you too.
Glad to see you in good health.
And it's so good to see you all again.
Sam, your next order requires you to recover an escaped kangaroo, the subject of an important experiment. Seems the bushland area it hopped off to is one where the chiral density is extremely high, meaning you'll need to get it back to the animal shelter ASAP to ensure its safety. This is a ticking clock situation, Sam. I'll brief you on the details while you review your map. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal when you're ready to get underway. Hey Sam, Charlie here. Since this is your first order, the kangaroo you're looking for is somewhere in this area. Once you've arrived, use your Odradek to begin searching for the creature. You can transport the kangaroo in your standard issue animal carrier. No need to fabricate anything unique. Get close enough to the kangaroo and deploy the carrier to capture it. It will be a bulky piece of cargo, but you should be able to carry it on your back like any other container. However, you will need to traverse some heavily wooded mountains as well as rivers and uneven terrain. Bear this in mind when considering what equipment to take with you. All right, time to proceed with route planning and final preparations. Order accepted.
See you.
What in the world?
We have a situation, Sam. I'm tracking a fresh bushfire near the injured kangaroo's location. Clock's ticking. Secure the poor little bugger ASAP and bring the shelter onto the chiral network. Once the DHV Magellan can join you on site, we'll see what we can do about that fire.
Sam, over there. I see the kangaroo. Get close enough to put it in an animal carrier for transport. All right, time to make our getaway. Look out, Sam! Fire! We need to get away from here as quickly as possible. This was marked as a dangerous location on your map, Sam. We could get trapped here by the bushfire. Let's keep moving to ensure that doesn't happen. Still not sure how we survived that. Anyway, we have a Cupid to connect, right?
Access the delivery terminal to process your orders and requests.
You must be Sam. We've heard all about you from your friends at Drawbridge. Go ahead and connect us to the chiral network.
about the fire. Rainey will put it out for us.
Tell me though, who is she exactly?
It's been about 6 months now, since I first heard about the girl who brought the rain.
Whenever I stepped outside, the timefall came. There was nothing that I could do to make it stop. And they hated me for it. Including my parents, who told me to leave. I was the witch who brought the timefall. A monster to be locked up in a cage. A few even tried to burn me alive. The most dedicated witch hunters. I struck out on my own. I was alone for so long. In desperation, I enrolled in a special UCA program. Hoping to find purpose as a mother.
Hi there. You're safe.
But even after I got pregnant, I still couldn't find anyone willing to take me in.
I'm sorry.
No. We need to leave right now.
Please.
God, get out of here.
Anything to do with me. All they saw was a witch, to be hated and feared. Until that day.
I'm so sorry. Hey there. You're Rainey, aren't you?
Who's asking?
Someone who's been looking for you. For you and your power.
You want my power? Why?
You're a pharmacon. Medicine that can harm, poison that can heal. It's all in how you use it. Want to come work for me? I believe you can save the world.
You do?
There are things only you can accomplish.
Only me. Really?
Really. My name's Fragile. And I'm happy we could finally meet. I'm here for you. For both of you. I'll be your umbrella. And together we'll show the world the hope in your reign. Come on. We wouldn't want the baby to catch a cold. Come on.
Thank you. That was quite the display. Drawbridge is even more amazing than we'd heard. Thanks to everything you've done for us, the animals are unharmed and the facilities are holding up just fine. It's a wonderful relief. Anyway, I'll check your orders now. The kangaroo seems to be good and healthy. Nothing to worry about. I hope you'll continue to work with us.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The kangaroo you rescued seems to be alright, thank goodness. Oh, she's so very special to us, and we're relieved to have her back in one piece. Once she's had a bit more time to recuperate, we'll move her to the reserve next door where you can visit anytime you like. By the way, we've uploaded our decoy hologrenade data to the network. You can trigger it remotely once thrown, creating a distraction that'll lure enemies away. It might just save your life if you run afoul of any troublemakers. Well, we first found her in an area with high concentrations of chiralium. How wild animals are affected by prolonged exposure is something we still don't understand completely. But it's thought this may be a key factor in how chiral creatures come into existence. So, you can see why our wee girl would be an invaluable research subject. It's where we look after the animals in our care. The vegetation around here didn't die out like elsewhere, and we still have a reliable water supply. After we screen each animal in our underground facilities, we release them into the reserve and monitor their health over time. When that kangaroo you rescued is strong enough, we'll move her up top where she'll be able to stretch her legs. That being said, changes in the environment can have a profound impact on many species, causing never-before-seen creatures to appear, throwing the ecosystem into chaos. Which is why we strive to preserve native animals here for future generations. It's where we look after the animals in our care. The vegetation around here didn't die out like elsewhere, and we still have a reliable water supply. After we screen each animal in our underground facilities, we release them into the reserve and monitor their health over time. When that kangaroo you rescued is strong enough, we'll move her up top where she'll be able to stretch her legs. That being said, changes in the environment can have a profound impact on many species, causing never-before-seen creatures to appear, throwing the ecosystem into chaos. Which is why we strive to preserve native animals here for future generations. Cheers, Sam. You've really helped us out. At this rate, we're poised to lose so many native species that predate the Death Stranding, and once they're gone, there's no getting them back. Between the bushfires caused by chiral cinders and animals behaving strangely and getting hurt, it's been pretty bad. But I've heard that these environmental anomalies might be resolved once and for all when Australia is fully linked up. So I've got high expectations for you and your friends. Speaking of which, how would you feel about assisting us with our preservation efforts? It'd be a simple matter of capturing any wild animals you see out on their own and bringing them to us. Even a few would make a real difference. Give it some thought, eh?
Well done, Sam. Return to the DHV Magellan and report to the bridge. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Rainey and her talents.
Order completed. Well done.
Sam, take a good look at the tracks you've made. They're proof that you were here in this time and place. They have the power to give courage to others who see them. And in time, they'll become roads, allowing you to connect with your fellow man.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
When she's outside, Rainey's constantly surrounded by timefall. But within a 1.5 meter radius of her body, a different kind of precipitation is observed. We call it core fall. Anything it touches is restored to an earlier state. In other words, it has the power to heal and repair, to counteract timefall's effects. Sadly, people only see the timefall and not the remarkable woman standing in the eye of the storm. Still no signs of growth?
I should be due any day now. If things were normal, that is. But the baby's still stuck at 7 months.
She has still baby syndrome. Have you ever heard of it?
I met a few preppers in Mexico that had something like that.
They're not isolated cases. It seems to be happening everywhere. Though who knows if it's a syndrome or a symptom of something else.
Simply put, the fetus stops growing at about 7 months. To be clear, it doesn't die, but it no longer moves, as if it's frozen in time. Several treatments, including C-sections, have been attempted. Unfortunately, removal from the womb invariably results in death. And while not all pregnancies are affected, it's yet another contributing factor to the already low birth rate. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative just isn't enough to compensate.
You got any idea what's causing it?
There's speculation that it's due to an imbalance in the beach itself. I'm sure it's been explained to you before that countless individual beaches exist, a multiverse of beaches, so to speak, and that they are all governed by an upper beach on a higher plane. Expansion of the chiral network to cover the whole UCA may have inadvertently disrupted the link to that beach. Or so they think.
BB units were also 7-month-old fetuses. So it's not hard to believe that the beach might very well influence the unborn.
While I can offer you no concrete answer, I can state that the plan to extend the chiral network into the Australian continent, to take it worldwide, is also intended to help restore balance to the aforementioned upper beach. And in doing so, it is possible that we may resolve the issue of still baby syndrome.
Hey, Sam, why don't you let the DHV Magellan take you to your next destination? We're Return to the ship and chart a course once you're safely aboard. You'll arrive in no time at all. Then again, if you walk there, it would give you the opportunity to pick up other orders. Too close for comfort.
Huh.
Thanks so much for stopping by. Give me a moment while I check the orders. Found some of our missing stuff, did you? I thought this was gone for good.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thank you for your...
Order completed. Well done. Vehicle customizations. Vehicle ready. Please drive carefully. Order accepted. Thank you.
Sam, Tarman here. A short while ago, the tar currents became incredibly unstable. It's gotten so bad that the DHV Magellan can't travel safely. We're still looking into what might have caused this, and we'll be in touch the second we know more.
okay, Sam? You know, I've been thinking about what happened to Lou. Fragile holds herself personally responsible for those tragic events. If Higgs was indeed behind the attack, then I can understand why she feels that way. Why she blames herself for setting everything in motion. But she's resolved not to let any of it show. Bottle it up and put on a brave face. She didn't used to smoke before, did she? I suspect it's a form of self-punishment she's adopted. Vengeance gives rise to a cycle of violence, and Higgs wouldn't have it any other way. But she's committed to helping you complete this journey, together with you, to get you back on your feet. And if she believes she has to bury her emotions and play the part of a hard-nosed commander to do that, she will. That's what I think, anyway. I'm sure you can understand her position.
Your orders and requests.
Wait, are you Sam? Then does that mean you carried this hefty delivery all the way from West Fort Knot? Way to make an entrance. We welcome you with open arms. Now let's get this cargo of yours processed. It's in pretty poor condition, but so it goes. You got it here, and we're satisfied with that. I hope you'll continue to support. All right. Can you connect your Cupid to our facility?
Now displaying your current Porter grade.
And now we're finally connected to the chiral network. This should make our job so much easier. And to make your job easier, I've gone ahead and shared data for a suit I think you'll love. Oh, right. I also wanted to give you this as thanks. Introducing the Blood Boomerang. Throw it properly and it'll come right back to your hand. It's a reusable weapon in that regard. Folds up nicely too, so it's quite easy to carry. You'll find it's especially effective against BTs, so give it a try against the next one you meet. With the aid of your network, we should also be able to develop stronger measures to defend against belligerents, which we need since the brigands out west have rapidly improved their arsenal in recent days. Honestly, you couldn't have gotten here at a better time. Thanks be to you, we'll finally be able to focus on our research. As the chiral network has expanded, we're seeing more and more anomalies outside of the bounds of its coverage. This has led the brigands to conclude that the network itself is responsible for the worsening state of the world, which is why they're opposed to its expansion. But it's not like we can sit back and do nothing. If we don't try to improve things, humanity's doomed to go extinct. One day they started sporting a whole lot more weaponry, including grenade launchers with custom tranquilizing gas rounds. Thing is, the brigands don't have a chiral printer at their base, as far as we know. So, where'd they get all the new hardware all of a sudden? Kinda worrying, don't you think? After I moved to Australia, the locals learned me all the ins and outs of the boomerang. I then designed a new type that's effective against BTs as well. You infuse it with Doom's blood before throwing it. The bigger the charge, the greater the potency. Naturally, most people would have to rely on blood bags sourced from donors, but since you have Doom's, you can also use your own blood on the spot. Unlike traditional firearms, it hardly makes noise. If your enemies don't actually see you throw it, they'll have a hard time finding you. That said, don't expect it to do too much damage to humans. Not unless you manage to hit them in just the right spot, at least. At this observatory, we focus on monitoring the behavior of tar currents. There's a patch of BT territory due north of here, and just beyond it is land that's currently being subsumed by tar. There's no telling when the facility will be lost to the tar as well. So it's important that we contribute to the research and development of countermeasures while we can. Incidents of tar current instability have grown more frequent, but we haven't been able to determine much more than that thus far. Thanks to the chiral network, though, we expect we'll be able to improve our instrument accuracy. We appreciate the help. Best of luck to you, Sam. The tar currents are acting up again. Guess it's back to work for me. Let's both keep on keeping on.
That was excellent work, Sam. Thanks to you, the better part of the Western continent has access to our services. Now it's time for you to head north and continue to expand network coverage. It is imperative that you connect all of Australia, stabilizing the environment and eliminating the remaining anomalies. There will be challenges, of course, but I know you have what it takes to overcome them. I expect more great things from you, in short.
Sam, this is Tarman. We believe that we finally determined the location of whatever's thrown the tar currents into chaos. The chiralium levels there are pretty high, though, and BTs are almost certain to be present as well. I hate to ask, but would you mind taking a look for us? It's close to your current position. I've sent you the coordinates. We're counting on you, Sam.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
spirits of the dead are close. Heads up, Sam. It's not safe. They're not human. Don't underestimate them.
That's good.
Wait, are they trying to lay a trap for us? The Odra deck is reacting to something. We should keep an eye on it and proceed with caution. Too many. You can't handle them all by yourself. But maybe split them up. Take them one by one. He's escaped, Sam. Up into that tower. He's too quick. Must have gone up to the roof. say nirvana? Is he implying this is some sort of realm for the enlightened?
You're right.
It's her, isn't it? The girl from before? I have no idea what just happened, but we should probably take her back to the DHV Magellan, hmm?
Displaying your current porter grade.
How's it going, Sam? You look better already. That's a relief. While you were recovering, we managed to learn a few things about our mystery girl. When you feel up to it, come to the room next door. Don't push yourself. Take your time.